is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand. From Africa to the world, connecting everybody.
CEMTV News, truth first, you next, stay informed to stay empowered. Good evening and welcome to the news at 6. I am Francis Oyima Adet. Let's take a look at the headlines. INEC commences the issuance of portal access codes to eligible political parties. Rivers State NDLEA Commander Kenneth Onyeso calls for greater public cooperation in the fight against drug-related crimes. Plus, federal government officially hands over the management and operation of Ibiam International Airport to Aero Alliance Limited under public-private partnership. We will bring you details of these stories and more in just a moment. Please stay.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
Many thanks for staying with us. We begin the news from Rivers State with a report that following the ease in tension between the United States and Iran, global crude oil prices have declined, prompting modest reductions in petrol prices in several countries across the world. At several filling stations visited by CEMTV reporters in Rivers State, petrol was selling for approximately 1 to 200 naira less than prices recorded in previous weeks. While motorists welcome the reduction, many say it falls far short of providing meaningful economic relief. For commercial drivers, tricycle operators and small business owners, fuel has become one of their largest daily expenses, eating deeply into profits and making it increasingly difficult to sustain their livelihoods. Dr. Emmanuel Oluwo, who is an environmental analyst, offered expert insight on how several factors continue to influence the retail price of petrol in Nigeria.
change, which may be up and down, because this factor that we have noticed and we have identified as a country and as operators, we have not been able to standardize and establish them to the extent that we can say now we can produce locally. If we are going to continually be getting this product outside, some factors are not in our control, and there's nothing we can do about it. And of course, you know that there are issues of flaws and failures, and will I call it administrative inconsistencies and foul plays along the line, and things not being true. As long as we have those kind of things, corruptions, let me call it that, as long as there's corruption in the system, we will continue to have this price change up and down, and that's, for me, is not the best we want to see as a country. It's not the best we want to see as citizens of this country. The government and the people, in fact, the people of this country demand and deserve to be to have a good life. And of course, the petroleum product.
Reports say although the latest reduction has been welcomed by consumers, many Nigerians said the true measure of relief will not be a marginal decrease at the pumps, but fuel prices that are stable, affordable, and capable of easing the alarming cost of living. In another development, Rivers State House of Assembly has confirmed receiving the 2026-2028 medium-term expenditure framework (MTEF) from Governor Siminalayi Fubara, which outlined the state's revenue projections and spending plans. The MTEF was presented during the Assembly's first sitting after its break. The lawmakers, however, postponed debate on the document to allow for a detailed review. The House also received a petition from stakeholders in the NGO Oyorokoto communities in Andoni local government area, calling for an investigation into the alleged abandonment of the NGO Oyorokoto Atlantic Road project in the area. Although, despite the progress, legal expertise have warned that Rivers State could face a constitutional crisis if Governor Fubara fails to present the 2026 appropriation bill to the Assembly, and noted that while the MTF is an important planning document, it is not a substitute for the annual budget required by the law. Meanwhile, as the world marks the 2026 International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking today, the Rivers State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has renewed its call for greater public support in the fight against drug-related crimes. At a press briefing held in line with the commemoration, the state commander highlighted the command's recent achievements, including arrest, convictions, drug seizures, rehabilitation efforts, and public sensitization campaigns across Rivers State. Our correspondent, Star Smart, was at the briefing. Now brings us the report.
All right, with me here is something you might want to give to a child to make them happy. But what if I told you that this right here is only a pop away from me getting high on nitrogen gas, popularly known as laughing gas? Well, we're here at the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Rivers State Command, and we're about to begin a press conference and get to see most popularly abused drugs, amongst other hard drugs that you are not supposed to take, amongst other things that we're going to find out here. Well, we want you to stay with us and most importantly learn that you have to say no to drugs.
Ahead of the 2026 International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking, the Rivers State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has called for greater public cooperation in the fight against drug-related crimes. The appeal was made during a press briefing held with media organizations across the state, attended by CEMTV reporters. Addressing journalists, the Rivers State Commander of the NDLEA, Commander Kenneth Onyeso Ofor, presented the command's operational achievement over the review period. According to him, the agency apprehended 242 suspects involved in drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking, comprising 193 males and 49 females. The command also seized a total of 146.181 kilograms of various illicit substances during its operations. Commander of 4 further disclosed that 69 drug users were counseled and released, while 23 individuals successfully completed treatment and rehabilitation programs. He added that 61 suspects were convicted, while 82 drug-related cases remain pending before the Federal High Court. Beyond enforcement activities, the NDLEA intensified its public enlightenment effort, conducting 72 sensitization and advocacy visits under its War Against Drug Abuse WADA campaign across the 3 senatorial districts of River State.
During the period under review, the NDLEA River State Command arrested a total of 242 suspects, representing 193 male, 49 female. The command seized illicit substances, 146.181 kilograms of illicit substances. 69 arrested drug users were cancelled and released. 23 clients, people who use drugs, were treated and rehabilitated at the NDLEA Rehabilitation Center. 61 suspects were convicted. 82 cases are pending in the Federal High Court. The command carried out 72 WADA sensitization and advocacy visits across the 3 senatorial districts of River State. Before I end this stewardship account, I'll use this medium to thank the River State Governor, Sir Similaye Fubra GSSRS, for the enabling environment and provision of infrastructures and logistics needed for the success of this assignment.
Speaking on the challenges confronting the agency, the commander identified poor public cooperation as a major obstacle. He explained that many drug traffickers often gain the support and protection of residents within their communities, making it difficult for law enforcement officers to obtain vital information and dismantle trafficking networks. He urged members of the public to work closely with NDLEA personnel by providing credible information on drug dealers and their hideouts, stressing that drug trafficking poses serious threats to individuals, families, and communities.
No age is exempted. If you watch these days, wrong things cut across all ages. It is even people that you call elders that hide this drug for younger ones. Our society is passing through a whole lot, but if you talk about the greater part of arrest, it is people between the age of 18. We have also had minors arrested. Even sometimes the court has said take them back to their parents. But if you look at age 18 to probably 55, this commission of this offense is higher there. But in general and totality, the basic truth is that no age is exempted these days.
Responding to concerns raised by CEMTV reporters about the safety of informants, Commander of 4 emphasized the importance of collective action in protecting society from the dangers of illicit drugs. He noted that exposing criminal networks would help reduce the circulation of dangerous substances and improve the safety and well-being of affected communities.
Appropriate steps are being taken by the River State Command of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in making sure that River State is drug-free. The job is done in 2 perspectives. We have the supply reduction, the demand reduction. The demand reduction has further been split into 2, where you have the treatment and rehabilitation. You also have the Public Enlightenment and Sensitization Department. This department, one, takes in drug users in the rehabilitation center. That is the treatment and rehabilitation department, where drug users, people who use drugs, are counseled, are also treated, rehabilitated, and returned to contribute their quota in the development of the state. Then the Public Enlightenment and Sensitization Department is going from school to school, public places, in the market, speaking to people to discourage them from the use of drugs. Here, emphasis is laid on the dangers that the use and trafficking constitute to the health of the individual and to the general populace. Then the supply reduction is where law enforcement takes place. Officers conduct surveillance, arrest drug dealers, and ensure that they are prosecuted at the Federal High Court. Conviction sends them to prison.
The briefing also featured an exhibition of commonly trafficked illicit substances aimed at increasing public awareness of the various drugs circulating within the state.
In our raid operations, you see that all the drugs are here. Particular of interest, you see this cake. This is brownie cake, but it's laced with cannabis. So if you are eating it, you know that this thing is cake, but it's having cannabis inside it. It's trending in the state right now. This is nitrogen oxide, also known as laughing gas. You see people.
The day is set aside to create awareness on the dangers of drugs and harmful substances, as well as substance abuse, and to sensitize the masses on the dangers of using these drugs. It is also a day for parents to pay more attention to what their children are doing.
Have to say no to drugs. Doing hard drugs is detrimental to your future. As we learned from this River State Command NDLEA, we learned that drug ends dreams. Drug ends dreams. So do not get involved. Well, I am Star Smart reporting for CEMTV.
We move to the national sit-down where the federal government has officially handed over the management and operation of the Kanu-Biam International Airport, Enugu, to Aero Alliance Limited under Public-Private Partnership (PPP). The agreement, signed by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, is aimed at improving airport operations, upgrading infrastructure, and attracting private investment into Nigeria's aviation sector. Keyamo described the deal as a major breakthrough, noting that previous attempts to concession the airport had failed for over 20 years because investors focused mainly on Lagos, Abuja, and Kanu. He added that the successful concession has boosted investors' confidence with Port Harcourt International Airport expected to concessioned in the coming weeks. Governor Peter Mbah described the concession as a significant step towards making Enugu a regional hub for aviation, logistics, and investment, revealing that the state has signed an MOU to establish direct flights between Enugu and Guangzhou, China, to promote trade, tourism, and investment. We move to politics, where the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has commenced the issuance of portal access codes to eligible political parties for the electronic submission of candidates for the January 16, 2027 presidential election. Excuse me. The access codes are being issued only to the national chairman and national secretaries of political parties whose presidential primaries were monitored by INEC in line with the 2026 regulations and guidelines for political parties. According to the Commission, the nomination portal will open at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 27 June 2026 and close at 6 p.m. on July 11, 2026. Political parties are expected to upload the names and particulars of both their presidential and vice presidential candidates within the submission window. Several political parties, including the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Democratic Leadership Alliance (DLA), Nigeria Democratic Congress (NDC), and Social Democratic Party (SDP), said they had concluded their nomination processes and were ready to upload their candidate detail. However, the Accord Party said it was yet to nominate a presidential candidate, but expressed confidence that the issue would be resolved before the nomination deadline. Meanwhile, leadership crisis has deepened in the Eyan Cattle Dealers Association in Benin City, Edo State, following the removal of the chairman and secretary of its board of trustees, BOT, Idris Adano and Awal Shafi, over alleged mismanagement of 116 million naira. The association elected Jida Tahir as the new BOT chairman and Ibrahim Sharif as secretary after 5 of the 7 trustees voted for the removal during a meeting on April 25, 2026. The former officials were also accused of failing to address issues affecting the association, including an unpaid 35 million naira debt owed to a company that cleared debris in the market. However, Adano dismissed the allegations, describing them as an attempt to create division within the association. He insisted that members had passed a vote of confidence in his leadership and urged stakeholders to disregard the removal. To African news, where South Africa has in recent months witnessed a renewed wave of xenophobic attacks targeting African migrants, particularly Nigerians, Mozambicans, Malawians, Ghanaians and other foreign nationals. Protesters have accused undocumented migrants of taking jobs, straining public services and contributing to crime, leading to harassment, looting of foreign-owned businesses, violent clashes and the displacement of thousands. The unrest has forced many Africans to seek shelter in temporary camps or return voluntarily to their home countries. Amid growing tensions, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has vowed to prevent any attempt to destabilize the country during planned anti-immigrant marches scheduled for June 30th. Citizen-led groups have issued an ultimatum demanding that undocumented foreigners leave the country before staging nationwide protests. Reports say South Africa's government maintains that migrants are being made scapegoats for the country's high unemployment and economic challenges. On the foreign scene, King Charles III will not move into Buckingham Palace after its decades-long refurbishment is completed next year, bringing to an end nearly 200 years of iconic London landmarks serving as the British monarch's primary residence. Royal officials announced that the King has chosen to remain at Clarence House, his long-time London residence, instead of relocating to the palace after the £369 million renovation project is completed. The refurbishment, which began in 2017, includes major upgrades to aging electrical system, plumbing, heating and other essential infrastructure to preserve the historic building for future generations. Report says despite the decision, Buckingham Palace will continue to serve as the ceremonial and administrative headquarters of the British monarchy. It will remain the venue for state banquets, official receptions, investitures and hosting of foreign dignitaries, while also accommodating the royal household's operations. Meanwhile, the King will retain private rooms within the palace for use during official engagement and occasional overnight stays if required. Royal officials said the decision will also allow greater public access to Buckingham Palace, which attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors annually, reflecting King Charles's efforts to modernize the monarchy while preserving one of Britain's most recognizable national landmarks. And still to come in the news, WHO to begin Ebola treatment trials as DR Congo outbreak surpasses 1,000 cases. Plus, CBN directs banks to immediately freeze the accounts and assets of individuals and companies designated for terrorism financing. Please stay with us.
Worried about the state of your world? Need better and broader ideas? Stay tuned to CEMTV 24/7. Always thinking possibilities. CEMTV. Reliable news and entertainment.
CEMTV wakes you up, goes through with you.
Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand. From Africa to the world, connecting everybody.
Many thanks for staying with us, and now to the rest of the news stories. We begin in health, where the World Health Organization, WHO, will begin clinical trials next week to test two potential treatments for Ebola, as the outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo has surpassed 1,000 confirmed cases. The disease has infected 1,048 people and claimed 277 lives since the outbreak was declared on May 15th. The trials will evaluate two antiviral drugs used individually or in combination to determine whether they can reduce deaths caused by the rare Bundibugyo strain of the Ebola virus, for which there is currently no approved treatment or vaccines. Between 500 and 1,000 patients are expected to participate in the study. The trials will begin at the hospital in Uturi province in northeastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where most of the confirmed cases have been recorded. The study will be conducted by a consortium of partners including the DR Congo National Institute for Biomedical Research, ALIMA, Oxford University, and the World Health Organization, WHO. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said the agency is working closely with local communities to ensure that they understand the trials and can access the treatments if they are proven safe and effective. He also thanked the United States and Gilead Sciences for donating the medicines needed for the study. In business, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has directed banks and other financial institutions to immediately freeze the accounts and assets of individuals and companies recently designated for terrorism and terrorism financing in the country. In a circular dated on June 24, 2026, the Apex Bank said the directive followed updated sanctions by the Nigeria Sanctions Committee and the United States Department of the Treasury. 6 individuals and 4 bureau de change operators were listed under the sanctions. CBN ordered all financial institutions to cleanse customers and transactions against the updated sanctions list, freeze all funds and assets linked to the designated persons and entities without prior notice, and ensure they are not provided with any financial services. Banks were also directed to file suspicious transactions reports with the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit (NFIU) for any confirmed or attempted marches, and submit compliance report to the CBN within 48 hours, including NIL returns where no marches are found. The Apex Bank further instructed financial institutions to strengthen monitoring for terrorism financing activities and carry out reviews of past transactions linked to the sanctioned individuals and entities, warning that failure to comply with the directive or submission of false information would attract sanctions under the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act BOFIA 2020, and also added that the order takes immediate effect. In sport, Eddie Hearn has said that he is willing to renegotiate the contract for the fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury if there is a good reason to stage the fight in the United States, which both Joshua and Fury's teams have already negotiated and agreed to the terms for the fight. Hearn explained that Joshua had already signed a contract stating that the fight would take place in the UK. However, Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh, who is backing the event, noted that no final decision has been made on the venue, with the US now emerging as a strong option. While the date and location are yet to be officially confirmed, Fury's promoter Frank Warren has expressed confidence that the all-British heavyweight showdown will take place later in 2026. Finally, on entertainment news, Nigerian comic actor Fred Ebere, popularly known as Tokumbo Tenkobo, has publicly criticized Stella Maris Okafor, the last wife of the late Nollywood veteran John Okafor, better known as Mr. Ibu, after she appealed to the public for financial assistance.
A legend, not just anybody. I don't know for you, but for me, Mr. Ibu made my childhood fun. I love to watch his movie. Him and Aki and Pop. Now that he's gone, his family should not be suffering. Because the neighbors are telling me that they are always fetching water, they don't have lights in their house. I think we'll check inside their house. Is there anything you want to say?
So basically, I want to thank God for my mom. You know, she tries everything she can to feed us, pay our school fees, make us happy.
Is there anything you want to say to Nigerians?
So Nigerians, if you were in the industry with my dad, you're seeing us now. Come and meet us. I'm here, Chelsea here.
Their school fees should not even be a problem. Right now, they can't go to school again, Abby.
I can even show you today the school sent me a message.
To me, the children, they should be called. You don't get. For me to come out and say my father is Mr. Ibu, even if Mr. Ibu is no more in this Nigeria, I swear to God, it should be from hand to mouth. I swear to God. Mommy, you will call your account number for us, right? You call me back and tell me whatever they said to you. Let's come back and thank them, so they don't feel left out. So please call your account number for them. We are donating for the children to go back to school, for their house rent to be paid, and for what again? For their lights.
1875776454. Access Bank. 1875776454.
According to the video, Stella Maris, shared by influencer King Michi, said she was struggling to pay her house rent and her children's school fees, prompting her to seek support from Nigerians. Responding to the video, Tenkobo, a close colleague and a longtime friend of the late actor, accused Stella of using Mr. Ibu's legacy to solicit public sympathy. He questioned why she was seeking donations, alleging that the actor had acquired houses and landed properties during his lifetime. The comedian further claimed that some of Mr. Ibu's assets were sold after his death and called on members of the actor's family to account for the proceeds. He maintained that while there was nothing wrong with asking for help, it was misleading to suggest that late actor left nothing behind. Stella Maris is yet to respond publicly to Tenkobo's allegations. And that's CEMTV News at 6, but before we go, let's take a quick look at the headlines. We told you that INEC has commenced the issuance of portal access codes to eligible political parties. In Rivers, the state NDLEA commander, Kenneth Onyeso, has called for greater public cooperation in the fight against drug-related crimes. And while the federal government has officially handed over the management and operations of the Kanibia International Airport, Enugu, to Aero Alliance Limited under a public-private partnership,